Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So this week I thought, you know what, I'm going to do some baking. Adam is away on his stag do, so I thought I've actually got some time, I could do some filming without anybody being here. I'm missing him terribly though, so if he is watching back at this video after his stag do, I have missed you terribly. But here we go. So I thought, you know what, I went to Sainsbury's. I thought, yeah, let's go. Let's see what I can buy, okay? I'm not a pro at making cakes, everybody. Let's just be completely honest here now before we get beginning. I am not making a cake from scratch. That is too much work for me. I'm sorry. I am not a professional. So instead, I left it to the professionals to do this for me. Betty Crocker. What a god, hey? It's all there. It's all done. It's all basic. Look, even the bottom of my tin, look at that. So really and truthfully, this video is mainly me just actually following a recipe, which, do you know what, if anyone is bored or you've got kids and you're thinking, I really need something to do with them that doesn't cost a lot of money and it's so easy to do, well, let's see if this is as easy as it says it's easy. Here we go, let's have a look. So this is the red velvet sponge, but I am not using the cream cheese frosting. I much prefer the buttermilk, and I'm also going to top it with marshmallows and a bag of Maltesers. Yum. I've also got these to put into my cases. They are the massive cake tin liners, just because it saves on mess, and when you don't want too much work to do, mess is the last thing you need. But so it says all you need with these is its preparation 10 minutes. They take about 28 minutes to cook, and you just need the eggs, oil and icing. Easy, that is really easy. So it says mix the eggs, oil, water and cake mix generally together and whisk by hand on an electric mixer. I haven't got an electric mixer, so by hand it is. Good luck. So I've got all the ingredients. I've got 3 large eggs, cake mix, and I'm just about to do 200 ml of water. Nice and simple. So while I'm doing this video, I thought, you know what, I'm going to talk a little bit, because otherwise it would be a little bit boring just watching me make a cake. I know, like, I'm not the funnest person, but that would just be a level of boring that I don't think any of you want to know. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do a guide to living with your partner. Because Adam is not here and he can't smirk or comment in the background, I'm going to do of what I have learned and what I advise, like big sister advice, I guess, on anyone who's looking at moving in with your partner, or you're not sure if you want to move in with your partner. Why don't you listen to this video and all the things I've learnt and what I advise. So obviously tip number 1 I can say is move in when you are both ready. I know it's hard to say, but you don't want to be moving in if only one of you wants to do it. Because I know a lot of men might feel the pressure of moving in with their girlfriend, but you know, sometimes I feel, you know, you have to take that step at some point, but make sure it's when you're both ready and you both financially can do it. Depending obviously your circumstance, if you're looking to buy or rent, you know, but that's a different situation itself. But yeah, my biggest advice is only move in together when you are ready. Advice number 2. I would say you do need to be willing to compromise when you move in with somebody, because, you know, all the ingredients in the tub. Here we go. Let me get my spoon. I got my spoon. No, this will do. Cool. And I'm just mixing. So yeah, my biggest advice, step number 2, would definitely be on the compromising front. I think, you know, you have to be willing to compromise, because when you live with like your parents or you live on your own, you know, you normally do tend to get your own way. I know it's really weird to say, and if you know any parents are watching this, I'm sorry, but you will. Your children normally get the way eventually. So you'll be used to things like how your parents did things. You'll be used to things that, you know, that you do on your own, especially if you've gone from living with each other, like living in your own houses, not with parents, to living together. It's a big step living with a boyfriend, and vice versa, it's a big step living with a girlfriend. There's things that happen that, you know, people's moods change. Like being a woman, obviously we have our monthly cycles, which is not easy to live with. And yeah, it's just those things that you have to kind of get used to, but you've got to be willing to compromise with things, because just because you like things done in a certain way doesn't mean that that person likes it in that way. But you have to, and following the whole, you know, you have to compromise. You have to communicate with each other. So I know arguing doesn't always get what you want. It doesn't get the result that you necessarily want. So it's probably better if you communicate with each other. Actually try and have an adult conversation and talk these things through, rather than keep it all either bolted up inside or anything like that. You know, it's all about you two. You've got to look after each other, and you know, potentially if this is a long-term thing, like I can't imagine, you know, if you move in with somebody, your intention is to obviously split up with them, but you have to be prepared that and you also need to be prepared that you're not going to like each other all the time. That is one thing I will, you know, that's one thing I've definitely learned from it. Okay, you know, you love that person, and you know, I love Adam dearly. He's amazing. He's been really good to live with. He's really easy. But there are things that we both do that we don't like. So obviously I've got my ways of doing things, and Adam's got his ways. Like Adam is very much, he likes the kitchen to be a certain way, whereas me, I've been alone for a day and I need to tidy the kitchen. That you can see that there behind me would drive him nuts. Like me, the fact I'm baking in the kitchen and probably the mess I'm going to leave while I'm baking, that annoys him. And you know, some people are like that. Some people don't like mess and things, and some people are, but you got to remember, you're not necessarily always going to like each other. There's going to be times you're going to look at each other and you're going to be like, please just walk away, because I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to really hurt you. So yeah, that is completely normal. So don't ever feel like if you're comparing yourself to anybody that's not normal. That is 100% normal. But it is. They are the two key things that you must know when you live with each other. Compromise, communication. Always communicate with each other your problems. If you're having a bad day, having a bad week, or you feel like, oh, I'm really struggling at the moment with this, or something at home is really annoying me, or the way you've done something's annoying me, always talk to each other. Because 9 times out of 10, the other person probably doesn't even realise that's what's annoyed you. And that, I'm sorry, blokes, is a man thing. Men don't realise things that annoy us women, and vice versa. We probably don't understand things that annoy them. Like, I can imagine if I touched his PlayStation, he would probably go nuts because I've touched the PlayStation, and I probably put it back in the wrong way. I haven't, by the way, Adam, so next time you watch this vlog, I haven't touched the PlayStation, promise. Okay, so I've mixed my mix. Look how beautiful and red it is. Ooh. So what I've got to do now is just line this into the tins. I think that's the next step. I haven't even been following the steps. How bad is that? It's kind of obvious though. Okay. Pour cake mixture evenly into 2 greased tins. Well, I've got my cupcake cases, so that's fine. Well, not cupcake. I got my cake case, so that's fine. And then bake in the centre. That's literally as easy as that is. That's ridiculous. I'm a pro chef. Woo, I can bake. Great British Bake Off, I'm coming for you. Okay, so I've lined my tins. We're good to go. This is going to be really annoying. So here we go. Here's my cake tins. The oven has been preheated, so let's pour this in. I won't be able to talk doing this because I'm not that good. One thing I will say that you need to do as well on moving in, or what it's like moving in with your partner, is always make time for each other. That's something I don't hear very often from people, and I think it's something we lack now in this day. I think we're also consumed by social media and how a relationship should be, that we don't actually make any time for each other. We all just expect our relationship to run and, you know, be treated like princes and princesses and have everything we want just by looking at our mobile phones. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You've got to make time for each other. And me and Adam are very good at this. We, since day one really, haven't stopped dating each other. We always find time to go on a date, be it with our Odeon Limitless cards. We're looking at getting a Merlin card, so after the wedding we've got loads of attractions and things to do in the UK. We try and go on dinner dates, and we always make a rule when we're there is never use your mobile phone. Your mobile phone either sits on the side of the dinner table, obviously because I take an Instagram picture, because come on, or you just turn your phone off completely and put it in your bag and you just talk to each other. And we find a lot out about each other when we do this. So, you know, we both learned that if something's bothering us that way, because when you're at home it's different, because you're so consumed in what you're doing. Like obviously Adam has his PlayStation here, I'm either editing, I've got like studying to do for my degree, so we always pass by each other. I wouldn't say we sit there and communicate properly to each other when we're at home, but when we go out for dinner or we go on a date, we sit there and talk. It'd be like in the car on the way and on the way back, you know, like after the cinema, we always discuss what we've seen and we talk about how we feel and what's going on, and it is really nice. And I would say, you know, don't stop dating your other half. That's one thing, you know, especially now we're getting married, we're being told the same thing. You've got to always make time for each other and keep dating each other, because otherwise the relationship does get boring, and that again is something that is completely normal, by the way. You do get times where your relationship starts to like plateau and it becomes boring. That is normal. Okay, before I carry on this bit of conversation here, I'm going to put the cakes. Cakes are filled halfway each, and I'm going to stick them, I'm going to use my foot here, stick them in the oven. Oh, they look so good! So what I'm going to do is stick these on, because my oven's a bit temperamental. I'm going to stick it on for 25 minutes and see what it looks like after 25 minutes. So yeah. Another thing you must always do, and I have learnt this quite well, is always trust your partner. I've been in previous relationships where I haven't trusted my partner. So whenever they left to do anything without me, I never trusted them. And I think that's more of my own insecurity, and I think that is a teenage girl thing, because you get in your head this image of what you think a relationship should be, and that is bad. Like, you shouldn't have that idea in your head, because I've been through many boyfriends. If any of you watch this and know me really well, you will know I am not whiter than white. I am not the ideal ex-girlfriend. I'm not the, you know, I've done some pretty bad things, and I've been, you know, I think it's a learning curve we've all been through. But I then met Adam, and that completely changed. You just kind of one day, and it is the whole cliche thing, you know when you know that you've got a good person. And I always try from the start of my relationship with Adam not to be clingy, not to, you know, rely on him so much. You know, I have my own life, I go and do things I want to do, I talk to my own friends. We both have a circle of friends that have become both our circle of friends now. Like, I could not imagine my life without Adam's friends, and I don't think Adam could imagine his life without my crazy friends. But we both still have our separate lives, so he can still go out with his friends and that be fine, and I'm not sitting there worrying like, oh my god, what's he doing, what's he up to? And you know, that's something any of you who are quite young in young relationships and finding that you're fighting all the time, you're always worried, you know, if you don't trust that person, it's not going to last. And if you are unfaithful to that person, be prepared that they're never going to trust you again. Doesn't matter what they say that they will get over it, they won't. It is just one of those things, and it's horrible to say because you won't. I'm lucky in the relationship I'm in now. I haven't had that feeling. We've not been through that together. I don't intend on going through that. I adore him so much, and I hope he does too. He's going to be watching this thinking she's so cute at the moment, because I'm never normally like this. I've learnt from previous relationships that being all this lovey-dovey affectionate isn't actually real. It is something that you build up in your head from watching TV and films and saying, oh, I want this so much. Like when I watch 50 Shades of Grey, I know it's that film is just a different level, but you come out of that cinema and you think, oh, that's amazing, brilliant. You look at the actual story and it's not amazing. If you were in a relationship like that outside of the film, it wouldn't be beautiful. But yeah, you've got to trust your partner, and that is a big thing that I've learned, and I think you need to learn when you live with a partner, because you don't want to be under each other's hair all the time. You don't want to be like reliant on that person. If Adam wants to go somewhere, he can. Like, I'm very rarely at home, most of the time. I'm normally out and about, I have shopping with my family, my friends, whereas Adam's just, he likes to be at home, he likes to play on his PlayStation, he likes, you know, being happy or at home or seeing his family and friends. So yeah, you've got to be able to trust each other and believe in each other, I guess is the thing. So cake's in. I'm going to tidy up now really quickly, so let's watch this and let's carry on this conversation in a minute. One thing I have learned from living with Adam is arguing. We all argue, people. Don't sit here and say you don't argue. We all have spats. Me and Adam have never had a big argument. I think we've only ever argued properly maybe once or twice in the whole 4 years we've been together. So I'm very lucky. He is so laid back and chilled, but I'm very fiery. So I'm very much, I've always been in relationships where I've always argued. There's always been something. It could be anything little. I would love to have an argument. But with Adam, I hate the idea of falling out with him, because you go to bed, you feel so broken. Like, you get that feeling in your tummy when you're like, oh, this is not good. I feel really sad. And you know, we very rarely go to sleep on an argument anymore. If we have a problem or a bicker or a spat, we tend to just leave the room. It's always a good idea, girls. If you've got a second room, leave the room. Take 5 minutes, have a chill, go, right, okay. I go and have a bubble bath, and we come back, we give each other a hug, a kiss, and we say sorry. Doesn't matter who it is, who's in the wrong, you just say sorry, and you give each other a cuddle, and Adam is very good at that. And that is something, you girlies, if you are just thinking of moving in with your partner, is something you need to do. Learn to say sorry to each other and actually mean it, not just say sorry for the hell of it to save an argument. Say sorry, have a cuddle, and honestly you feel so much better. And then you two can actually sit, have a conversation and discuss what's happened without losing your temper. Because the last thing you want to do is say things in an argument that you're going to regret. Because we all do it, we all get angry and we all get to a point where like, oh, and it doesn't even have to be anything they've done, but you'll shout at that person. I find sometimes if I've had a really stressful week at work or a day, or you know, my monthly cycles there, I'm grouchy, I'm grumpy, I'm taking medications, I'm going through all this stuff in the background and my head just can't take it anymore. And Adam, all he's got to do is say something to me in just one, like in any tone of voice, and I snap. And then he's like, whoa, I just said something, calm down. It's those kind of things. You've got to learn to communicate, say sorry, be like, no, I didn't mean to bicker with you, blah, blah, blah. Talk about it and it's done. You can go to bed, you can feel happy again, have a cuddle, watch TV, whatever you guys do together, it'll be fine. A big thing that a lot of relationships I find struggle with, and we've struggled with it in the beginning, is money. Don't let money get in the way of you. I have seen so many people, I've seen friends, family, us ourselves, we've fixated on money. And it's like, oh, I can't do this because we haven't got any money, or we can't get that because you haven't got any money. I'm not being funny, everybody. I know we all have to pay bills, and that is the one thing you should always work out first, is your bills. But after that, it's not a case of it's yours and mine. It's, you know, it's ours, our money. You need to learn to enjoy it with each other, because you cannot take that with you. If anything happened, you know, that money is never, you can't take it when you die, can you? Be honest. So do not sit there and worry all the time about money. You know, everyone has most people nowadays have a credit card. Most of us are in debt. There is not many people here that can sit here and say they have not got a debt of some form, be it finance, a credit card, bank loans, anything. It is completely normal. So don't always let money get in the way. But on the same front as money, save. Save, save, save and save for a rainy day, because if you've got little things like a car, you know, if your boiler breaks down, if you own your house, if something happens and you need that money, you want to have it in the bank. So I know it's one of the things you're just probably looking at, really like listening to this right now and going, well, that doesn't make any sense. How can you spend money and save money? It is easy. Money Advice Service, they have their own calculators on there which do budgets on how to survive. My advice to you is check them out. Work out what it will cost to, you know, go out to the cinema once a month. You know, all those things you can make time with. Saving to go on holiday, money that if you want to go and buy some clothes, you want to go and do shopping together, whatever. Always make, you know, you work hard for your money. Make sure, don't just get it all caught up in bills all the time. Go and spend some money with each other, and do not let money get in between you. That is so easy. But then on the same front, when you do your calculators and that, try and put some money away, maybe £10–15 a month. It doesn't have to be much, or it can be as big as you want depending on what your goal is. Always have that stashed away for just in case, even if it's for just leaving it for the end of the month, that you know, right, okay, I've got this money for the month, but you get to like the last week and you think, I haven't got much, I've got like £20 left to my name and I've got to get some food. And if you have that saving in the side, done. Transfer 20 quid out of it, done, and that's 40 quid. Enjoy it. Enjoy money. Do not let your money get in between you and your partner. My big sister approach here is to turn around and say to you, always make time to say I love you. Always tell that person how much you care about them, how much you adore being around them. Don't, again, I think this relates a lot to the make time for each other. Always tell each other how you feel, and because you never know when the last time is you're going to say hello, goodbye and I love you. So I always make a point of every day, and so does Adam, is we always say I love you. You know, it's always has been that way, because it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter how angry I am with him or vice versa. You must always show the other person how much you care about them, because with the whole mental health thing, the whole mental health spike that's going on at the moment, you know, a lot of young couples, young men, women, all of us, we're all struggling. Like, there are people there that you may not think are struggling, and sometimes just a simple thing to say to your partner, I love you, I appreciate you, I think everything you do is amazing, goes a long way. And it will honestly make a massive impact into your relationship. And it's also the same on a more intimate level. You know, make time to have a cuddle, make time to show that you care, hold hands, kiss, whatever it is that you guys think. Your relationship will thrive so much better if you just, I guess, show the other person how much you appreciate them. You know, you fell in love with them for a reason. Just because you live together doesn't mean that spark needs to leave. So always make time for that, girls and boys. Okay, so I think I've covered a lot of the things that, you know, as a big sister, if I was giving advice to my little sister or my little brother or anything on what to do when you're moving in with each other, they are the key main things I would say. So what I'm going to do now is go and wash up, get rid of all the mess, have a quick tidy of my house, and then hopefully by then the oven should finish so I can take the tins out and let them cool, and I'll be back to decorate the cake later. So I'll see you all in a little bit. Okay, here's a knife test to see if it's done. Clean. Oh yeah. Just do one more stab and another stab. I am happy with that. So let's turn the oven off, and I've just got to let them cool. Finish off doing my washing up, and that's it. It's done. Look at them. They look a bit burnt at the moment, but honestly they're not burnt. They are super squishy, like proper squishy. So I think it's just the top layer, because my oven seems to burn the top layer of everything, just the way it is. So I've just got the cake out of the fridge, so let's do this. Let's make proper cake. So I've got my spatula for the icing, and I have got my buttercream icing. Again, Betty Crocker. Couldn't use anything else, could I? So how I'm going to do this, okay, this is going to be interesting. literally comes out perfectly. Like, I can't even fold it. Look at this. That's just layer 1, people. Layer 1. Okay, so while I'm doing this, let's carry on with our conversation about living with your partner. Now, obviously, if there's anything you guys want to say about living with your partner, obviously comment below, let me know. But yeah, obviously, I'll tell you a bit more about me and Adam then. We moved in together 2.5 years ago now. So yeah, it was kind of a spare of the moment thing. We're talking about moving in with each other, and then we just, for some reason, all of a sudden just thought, do you know what, let's do it. We started looking, and we went and looked at a few houses. So I went to Teddington, I saw a couple of houses, but they just weren't, how do I say this, like, they weren't worth the money. Like, we're renting, we couldn't afford to buy, we didn't have the deposit to buy, so now we rent. But yeah, so we kind of went and looked at a few houses, and it was brilliant, you know, it was really good. And then this house came up, our estate agent that we were using turned around and said, oh, well, I've got a place on the market which nobody has seen yet. It is brand new, nobody has had any look at it. Do you want me to make it that way? You know, do you want to go and be the first people to view it? And we were like, oh my gosh, yeah, we do. And what made it so weird was that when Adam and me looked at the address, this little area we live in is where Adam's granddad lived. So it kind of made it even more special for us. And Adam's like, right, we need to go and look at it, because you know, it's so weird that this has come up. This is the place he lived in. You know, we need to go and look at it. And within walking through the door, we fell in love with this place. So that's how that started. We fell in love with this place, and that's it. We've lived here since. And you know what? You know, we've had our ups and downs with living together. There are times where I think Adam probably wants to murder me. There are times that I want to murder him. But we've done really well. Like, we always make a joke about this and say, oh, we obviously done alright because we haven't killed each other yet. And that is legit the biggest thing about living in a relationship. As long as you don't kill each other, you're all good. You don't need to compare yourself to rich, or, you know, you don't really need to compare yourself to people that, you know, you see on the internet and everything, that they have this perfect life. You know, 9 times out of 10, they don't have a perfect life. We all have things in our, what's the word, closet, wardrobe, that we aren't necessarily happy. We're not proud of, are we? So I think that is probably a key thing to remember when you're in a relationship, and that is the best advice to give anybody who is deciding to live together, is don't worry, your relationship is completely normal. So yeah, I'm literally trying to focus so much on this cake. So far, it's getting there. It looks and smells absolutely delicious. So I'm just currently about to put them around the sides. Oh my god, making a cake is so much hard work. Like, I don't think my decorating cake skills are there, I'll be perfectly honest with you all. But hopefully Adam will really enjoy this when he gets home. I said to him I was making a cake while he's been away, and he was like, oh, what cake are you going to make then? I said, well, I won't do chocolate because I know he's not like overly like keen on chocolate. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to make a red velvet but without the cream cheese frosting, because I don't think either of us are very keen on the cream cheese. But yeah. This could be a complete failure as well, by the way, guys. I haven't actually tasted this yet. It could taste disgusting. But I'm going to trust Betty Crocker and her amazing skills at making these packets for me. Yeah, so you know what? I hope you've kind of all, whoever's watching this, and you're really like going into this thinking, oh, my partner's brought up moving in with each other. I'm not really sure if I could. I don't know if I'd be okay. Honestly, you will be absolutely fine. it's a lot of this is very much, it's very scary. It's when you like do something new, and if you're somebody like we are and you're not great with change, you know, you will honestly be fine. It is not as scary as you think, and at the end of the day, you do just get used to each other. My hands are so messy right now, look. I want to just press down on it because I want to push it in. Sounds so rude. Okay. I think I'm almost there. I think I've almost, you know, made this look slightly presentable. It really isn't. I feel like a complete cake failure right now. It's like a Art Deco cake. It's supposed to look like this, by the way, guys. If anyone sees my cake, it's meant to look like this. I did it all on purpose. Okay. Oh gosh, look there. But yeah, obviously hit me up. Anybody has any questions that they want to know about moving in with each other, like, you know, don't compare yourselves to just how me and Adam do things. You know, every couple is different, and you know, you all do your own things in your own ways. So don't necessarily take what we're saying as gospel, because things that I'm saying that you can do and help may not, you know, necessarily help your relationship or help you. But yeah, just take this all with a little bit of guidance, like you would if you were talking to your big sister. And yeah, just go and be happy. Do what makes you guys happy, and honestly, you'll be absolutely fine. Go and enjoy living with your partner. Okay, I'm going to show you what this looks like right now. So, I've covered the cake as best as I can. You know what, I'm alright, I'm impressed with that, okay? For someone who's literally using a spatula, which I don't actually think is a spatula, which I don't think is for cake making, but that's a different story completely. I'm now going to decorate it. So I'm literally going to cover it with marshmallows and Maltesers. Yeah. But I really hope you all enjoyed this video and this little chat. And if you want any more videos like this where I, you know, be like the big sister and I offer advice, you know, let me know if there's any subjects you're thinking, oh, you know, I'd really like to know how you cope with this or whatever, and I will do them. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. Now let's try and decorate this cake. Just sprinkle them on top. It is kind of like an Easter cake. Can I say this is an Easter cake, even though we had Easter like weeks ago? I just can't stop eating the cake. Yeah, I've got to be delicate with this. Oh my god. As I know I've had people say before, marshmallows just went everywhere. Oh, bum. This is why, people, I don't bake. Why I don't do any baking whatsoever. I am not a baker. Now I've got to go and pick everything up. Let's try that one again. I really hope if anyone needs any marshmallows, come over to my house, I'll make you a hot chocolate. It looks really cute actually. I'm actually really impressed with this now. Okay, that's the marshmallows. Now the chocolate buttons! I can't wait to wash my hands. After this I'm literally going to go have a bubble bath. I think I'm going to need it. Oh, I've got a little pattern going here. I've got this. This is great. Okay, so it's done. Da, 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 no, 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 no. Look at it. I'd have to say, I give it Oh, it's definitely like, I have to say I give this a Great British Bake Off rating, you know, 10 out of 10, you know, Great British Bake Off, happy, sign myself up for now. I think I'm onto a winner here, I think I've got it. Might as well just go and collect the award now. It wouldn't be fair on everyone else if I entered, you know. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this. It's my first attempt at filming the Betty Crocker range. I am really chuffed with my, I guess you could say, Easter, just bored out of my brains because Adam's not here, cake. I'm really happy. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog this time, and I will love to do some more like this. Any more Q's and A's, talking to you as if I'm your big sister, advice, everything. I'm here, girlies. If you need anything or you would like to talk about anything, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll be there. Thank you so much everybody for watching, and thank you all for your support. Hit subscribe. Thank you.